Hi, so I'll be talking about ableist comments. So, just like sexism, racism, classism, etc. are issues, so is ableism. So, I've recently watched a video about medical assistance in dying. Apparently, it's been legal in Canada since 2016. And some people with disabilities are choosing to go with that, which to me is sad. I mentioned that a lot of people with disabilities are more likely to live in poverty. There are still people that still think that a disabled person's life is not worth it. There are people that say that disabled people are burdens to society and that taxpayers shouldn't be supporting the people with disabilities. And first of all, there's a reason why social assistance programs like ACE is there to help people with disabilities financially, even though it's not a lot. That person with disability could be your grandparents, it could be your parents, it could be your siblings, it could be your cousins, it could be your friends. And someday you can become disabled. Anyone can become disabled at any time and at any age. And to those people who think that our lives are not worth living because we're disabled, to me, it's ableist. What if that person with a disability is your child? Would you kill them because they have a disability? So, and the thing is, we make assumptions about disabled people, which are not always true. And a lot of us think that people with disabilities can't work. A lot of us can. There are people with disabilities that can work, and there are people with disabilities that can't work. It depends on the severity of the disability. Like, I can't imagine myself, like, opting for medical assistance in dying or MAID for short. And, you know, I would have no future if I decide to go with that. I wouldn't have a future anymore. I would no longer exist. If that person with a disability were your child, would you say, I'm not responsible for your disability once you turn 18, and just put them on the street like that? Like, I have other friends that have disabilities, and they're on ACE. So like, one of them has a part-time job at McDonald's. And another one who's disabled, it's gonna be harder for her to get a job. She does, even though she does do a lot of volunteering, but you know, there's a lot of barriers to employment for the disabled. Like, I don't let anyone ever, you know, undermine me because of my disability. So it's important that we don't make assumptions about other people. Like, you know, I do it myself. I mean, I assume, I make assumptions, but that's what we do. But we can minimize the amount of times we do make assumptions. You only know me as a YouTuber. You don't know what my life is like. You don't know what my situation is like. Like, you don't know how I interact with people. So I would appreciate that you get to know me first before you make judgments about me. People with disabilities are people themselves, and they're not less human just because they are disabled. So you may not realize that you're being ableist right now, but down the road you may realize, wow, I posted something that was discriminatory towards people with disabilities. Unfortunately, ableism is something that's rarely brought up, but attitudes can change over time. The more awareness we spread about disability, and the more that employers are educated so that they're able to understand the needs of disabled people. People with disabilities on disability benefits for a reason, because it's much harder for us to get a job or to become employed. I didn't want to be on AISH, but I'm on it because I need to be on it. I don't think I would survive without it right now, but in the future, I want to get to the point where I don't need AISH anymore. For those of you people with disabilities that are wanting to end your life, hold your heads up high. You can get through this. I understand how what it's like to face barriers, finding employment. We do live in an ableist society, but it is getting a bit better. But there's still a lot of improvements that we can make. Because before you think of ending your life, think about how it's going to affect your family. Think of how it's going to affect your friends. Right? So if I were to end my life through MAID, Guess who's going to have to suffer? My family. My friends. My fellow singers from choir. And then potentially my former students are going to find out. My old teachers, my old professors. I honestly think it's much too soon, for me to die. And I know the future awaits. I don't want any future disabled people to have to face the barriers that we face in 2022. And I hope 2023 and beyond will be a more inclusive society towards disabled people, especially in the workforce. So then that way we don't have to solely rely on the government for financial support. Because it's not a lot. It's not easy living on AISH. Cost of living will keep going up. And I don't want further people with disabilities to be further behind. I hope that there will be a brighter future for people with disabilities.